get started. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for our webinar. This one we're doing no surprises, just solutions. And what we're going to be doing is just kind of talking back and forth about the most frequently asked questions that we get, whether it's from prospects or clients throughout the process or real estate agents that we work with, trade partners, just things that we get asked a lot. We thought, well, let's go ahead and talk about those with you and help you get a better idea of what this build process looks like. And hopefully by the end, you'll have an idea of maybe what sets us apart a little bit from other builders and why we would be the right builder for you. So I'm going to let Lenka introduce herself.
Okay, sounds good. So again, welcome to Select Design and Build. This is our third webinar. We're excited that everybody is here. And again, like you said, hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a better understanding of what sets us apart. And if there are any other questions that maybe we didn't bring up, please use the chat, put those into the chat, and we will always look at those, and we can send out an email with all those questions out to everybody that actually joins. Okay, so my name is Lenka, and I have been with Select Design and Build as an employee for about 1.5 years. But before then, my background actually was lending, specifically construction lending, and I was the construction loan officer for Polished Homes and for Selects. So that's who I am. Yes.
And I am Kariann, and I have been a part of this team now for about 10 months. And my background is in real estate. So I do have my real estate license, my principal broker's license. And I did that for years before joining this team, and happy to be a part of it.
Yes.
Super fun.
And I will add that being Polished Homes and Select's banker and loan officer for many, many years, these two aspects of being part of sales and service were actually part of the things that were missing before. So really, we give a lot of support and guidance to clients that come that may still be starting to ask the questions about, do we do this with cash? Do we do this with financing? Do I need a lot? How do I know that I'm getting the right lot? So we make a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we have fun together.
We sure
so
do.
That's good.
Yes.
So let's give you a little bit of an overview of what our past series, this Power to Build Better series, webinar series. So tell a little bit about,
Yeah, you start with the first one that we talked about.
Okay. So the first one that we did was called Taking the Right Steps to Build Your Dream Home. And really, we took kind of the initial phases. So we talked a lot about what it takes to look for property, right? And what are the things that go into that? And then we talked about financing it. Lenka brought her expertise in helping people understand the difference between a lot loan, construction loan, mortgage, all those aspects. And then we briefly touched on our select build process and what that looks like. So that's what we covered in the first series.
Yes. And then in the second series, we took a little bit of a deeper dive and really wanted to walk our clients through what we called the first sketch to final detail. So one of the many things that makes us different than other builders is that we have an internal team. There's 16 of us. And so not only is there sales and service, but there's also an internal CAD and architect team. There's also an internal design team. There's an internal purchasing team. And that's really important because not only do we work symbiotically together, but we work symbiotically with our clients and with our trades and with our partners. So it's just a very streamlined process, a lot of really great care and hand-holding with an enormous amount of expertise background. So we, again, went through what that looks like from the time that you maybe make that first connection with the sales and service team to the reservation process, getting to work one-on-one with each department head, and then the final beauty of finishing up the home. So that was our second webinar.
Yeah. So today we're going to look at, like we said, just the frequently asked questions, and we kind of tried to break it down to different groups. So our first one, Lenka's going to start with a client testimonial. Then we're going to do some Q&As that we get from our planning and design phase, and then budget and financing. And then we're going to step from that to the construction process, quality and customization, and then our warranty. So that's just kind of how all of our questions are going to be broken down. And then as Lenka said, if you have questions, put them in the chat, and we will try to address those when we send you a follow-up email. And we'll kind of just address all of them that get asked today.
Okay.
So, client testimonial.
Client testimonial. So we love story time because as you all know, when you have true customer service and you're working with clients one-on-one, everybody is different and everybody is unique and everybody has their own family story and their lifetime story and what they really want in their future home, whether it's their first home or their final home, and everything in between. So the testimonial that I actually want to share, so just to give you a little bit of a taste of the type of service that we actually provide. So these particular clients were doing their next phase in life. They were retiring. They actually lived up in Washington. They really loved Central Oregon. They specifically loved Bend, Oregon, and they found a 2-acre piece of parcel on the east side of Bend. Loved it, fell in love with it. It was in a community, so it did have an ARC approval process, and they had a plan. They spent a lot of money for an architect to actually create this plan. And not that the plan itself was not good, but ARCs, as maybe some of you know, can be very stringent. And this plan did not.
People are on kids.
Oh, ARC. So it is a design review committee is what it is. So if you live in a community that has a design or an HOA that says you cannot have a pink house, you cannot have certain things, or your siding must look different, or your garage must be turned, or you have to have a certain amount of stonework, and they will tell you whether a plan looks good as is, or if it needs to be modified to fit within the aesthetics of the community, right? We love HOAs, and we have a lot of them here in Central Oregon. So with that said, they really liked the lot. They presented the plan, and the ARC said no. Not only did they say no, they said no version of that house can ever be built on this lot. So that stressed them out. And on top of that, with them selling their own home, like I said, retiring, having to figure out their finances, then they decided that they wanted to travel all across America for the next 3 months. And on top of that, they had the wrong lender. And that was huge. So just imagine the amount of stress that they had. We are yes people, we are problem solvers, and our whole team literally gathered around and helped them out, not only with saying, no problem, we're going to figure out what type of specifications you want in your home. Let's not look at that exterior. Let's figure out how many beds, simplify it, right? How many beds, how many baths? Do you want a great room? What kind of a style do you like? And then I help them mitigate through getting the correct lender, because they found out that they actually had to buy the lot first, and then they had to do the construction process. And ultimately, the reason why I'm sharing this is because they went from literally at one point, I don't know if we even want to do this. We are so stressed out. We feel overwhelmed. We don't know what to do next, to a team that literally came and rallied around them and calmed them and walked them through the process and made it actually a joyful experience, getting them the right lender that was able to close a lot loan in record time, which was the first thing that they had to get done. And then they were actually able to get in their RV and start traveling around the United States while we were doing a lot of stuff in the background. And as of 2 weeks ago, we broke ground, and they cannot be happier. So that's just a small glimpse, one in 1,000 different scenarios. Again, every client is unique, but we are problem solvers, and we want to make this build experience fun and exciting instead of stressful and anxiety-ridden.
Yeah.
So
it's such a good story. I love it.
And we love these clients, and they're just great.
Yeah, we're really excited to get to the actual building of their house now.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, with that, let's move on to our questions, right? Because this is where we really do want to help you understand, again, what sets us apart. And like Lenka said, just being problem solvers and really working as a team. So we're going to start with the planning and design phase. So one of the questions, super, super basic, but we get it all the time, is how long is this going to take? From start to finish, how long is it going to take to finish my house? Well, of course, there's the answer of, well, it depends, right? Because it depends on your lot.
Mhm.
And it depends on the kind of house that you want to build and how much is going to go into the design of it and how much you're going to have to sit down with our CAD.
And how much site prep needs to be done
Right.
on the
Yeah,
land
right.
that you actually have.
Yeah, so there's so many things that go into that are very specific, and because we are a custom home builder, we aren't a spec home builder, there are a lot of variables. But in general, what we do like to tell people, because we want to give you a rough idea. So what we try to do is all of the pre-planning stage kind of your due diligence and working with us on those front early steps. That is probably between a 4 to 6 month process, really, to get to the point where we actually like have a contract, you know, what your price is gonna be. We have an idea of the floor plan, and that's all dialed, it's gone through engineering. We have all of that takes about 4 to 6 months. And a lot of that variable also is the permit process.
Yeah.
Because depending on where you're building, that can vary significantly. So there's that. And then once we actually start, from the time we pour a foundation to the time that we are turning over the keys, it's generally about 9 months, give or take. Usually we can come in under that, but we would prefer to tell you 9 months. And then if it can happen in less time, then great. But usually 4 to 6 on the front end, and then the construction part is 9 months. Just as a very broad general answer
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, some of the houses, if they're larger square footage, might take a little bit
Sure.
longer.
Yeah.
But honestly, again, back on the lending side, most builders really want to say 12 months.
Yeah.
And
So
we want
9 is good.
nine is great. 9 is great.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about budget and financing? Is that going to be me?
No, you're on the rush. You got it, Lenka. Keep going. No, you got
Oh my
the
gosh.
next question.
Okay, so the next question that we're going to talk about is how early should we start planning our custom home before we want to move in?
Yeah.
Which is actually one of the most commonly asked when we first start talking with our future clients. Because there might be a lot of planning to go on with, your current home. Do you live in town? Do you live in the same state? Do you live in a different state? Do you have to sell your house in order to be able to have the financing to be able to build the new house? What does that look like? How long do you need to put your house on the market to sell it? Do you need to sell and move and put everything, like there's just so much involved. And we are here for all of it. So what we usually tell our clients is, again, going back to the timeline that you just gave, 4 to 6 months for the prepping, and then 9 months to build before you can actually get keys to move into your beautiful new home. So really, if someone tells me, this is a great example, and we get this a lot, like let's say in the last 2 months, we have a lot of calls that clients say, hey, I would love to be in my house by December of next year for Christmas, right? So our genuinely honest answer is that we need to start now. Because if we don't start now, we're going to get butted up into summertime of next year. And then in 9 months, we're going to go into 2027. We have also some clients who call us and they're like, well, we have like a 3 to 5 year plan. When do we start? Well, another answer to that is, well, you can start now. You can go through the reservation process, the design and build process. You can have a plan. You can pick all of your specifications, and then you can pause, because it's important to know, hey, this lot might be a little bit unique in shape. Do I need a daylight basement because my lot is sloped? Can I fit within the setbacks of my lot? So there's a lot of things that we still can do, and then we can pause. So just because you're 3 to 5 years out doesn't mean that you don't want to start the process now, and make sure that you feel confident so that when you are ready to actually build, that you have everything in place.
Yeah, oh gosh, that's so good. So the next question we get is, what's the very first step? Do we need to own land before contacting Select? So I'm kind of going to play off of that a little bit, where, I mean, that first step, you can't take it too soon, really, ultimately, is what Lenka was saying. So really, the first step is reaching out to us. And we can help guide you through that. So no, you do not need a lot in order to come to us. We are happy to have conversations with you, really initially about your timeline, right? Because that's going to help us. We're going to start with, oh, I want to be in by this time. We're going to backdate that and figure that out for you. And then you can kind of decide, do I have to sell my house? Do I have to do all those things like Lenka was saying? So no, you don't have to have a lot before contacting us. Contacting early is great. But reaching out to us, we'd love to have people come into the office and just have that initial sit down meeting. They can meet some of our team, and it's really where we get that initial, what is it that you want? Like, what's the dream, essentially, and how can we make that happen? So that's the first step, is just reaching out to us.
Okay, so the next question is, how much input do we have in the design? Meaning, how much input do you have? And then can we make changes to the floor plans or the layouts? Love this question. So custom, there's a reason why it's called select, design, and build. Within our team, we really have the talent to be able to create from a dream that is maybe in your mind or maybe sketched out on the back of a napkin, and we can bring it to life. Yes, we do absolutely have a fairly extensive signature library of plans, tried and true plans. And a lot of our clients, when they go to our website, they will see a nice variation of those homes that we have built in the past. And we can start with that. In fact, most of the time clients will say, I looked at your website and I really like the Edinburgh 2,400 square feet. It's like the perfect layout for a lot of our clients. Maybe they like something with 2-story. Maybe they need a rear load garage because their lot might be kind of skinny and narrow. Or they may say, I really like a little bit of this plan and I like a little bit of that plan. Can we marry those two together and create something new? So the answer is yes, absolutely, we can do that. Or maybe someone really likes a plan, but they want to bump out the primary bedroom, or they want to make the outdoor living space a little bit bigger. Maybe they want the ceilings a little bit taller. We can do that as well. So we have different tiers to be able to satisfy every single one of our clients' needs and wants. And so you have an enormous amount of say with the design. After all, we are here to be able to build within cognizance of your budget, right? We are here to build your next beautiful dream home. As far as changing the floor plans and layouts, again, absolutely you can do that. It's just sitting, and again, because you get to sit down with our CAD design team one-on-one, they're great, first and foremost, at listening. Our design person, her name's Kelly. She is excellent at understanding what your budget is, understanding and learning your style. CAD, same thing. He's our CAD director, his name is Seth, and he is a mix of empath and computer and nerd. He's gonna be mad that I said that, but he is the most talented of human beings as far as architecture, because he does this really great mix of, I hear what you're saying, let's draw it out, and what about this? What about that? And then he'll explain, of course, it always has to be structurally sound, right? But he'll explain, like, if we do this, this will add cost, but it'll be really powerful as far as the end look. But if we do this, it may look maybe similarly the same, but you might end up saving a little bit of money. And we are all, again, I have to use the word cognizant, because the last thing you want to do is build you a house that you can't afford, right? Or the last thing we do is build a dream plan and then have to start taking away because we're over your budget. So very, very important for us to work as a team. But the answer is ultimately, yes, you have an enormous say. We are not a builder that says, sorry, we have to pop this plan on your lot. We can't make any changes. We are not like that.
No. Like to make it how you want it.
Yes.
As long as it's structurally.
Yeah, structurally sound.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our budget and financing. It's kind of a good segue actually into that. So the first question we get a lot is, how do you determine the total cost of a custom home build? And which is a great question. And really what we do, because as Lenka said, we want to be super transparent, right? We want to be able to, we want the answer to be yes, that yes, we can do this for you, and yes, we can do this within your budget. It just might mean that there's going to be some give and take to that. So really from that very first time when you come in and typically meet with Lenka, she goes over a budget worksheet. So we actually have a form that we go through and we can kind of help you think through this. So, okay, you bought your lot. Now let's look at, or we can include the lot cost into it. And then, okay, what's that lot gonna take, right? Septic, well, utilities, surveying, excavation, all of those things, including permits. What is that gonna look like? And then, okay, you picked maybe one of our signature floor plans that you wanna do. We'll put that base price in there. And so we just really start doing a mathematical equation, really, of plopping all of those numbers in to get to, okay, we've had this conversation, these are all the things that you want, and here's what that's gonna look like. And then we can kind of see does that fit with your budget, and where do we need to maybe make some modifications to that. And part of that too would come with our a la carte. So we have beautiful, what we would consider standards on our homes, and that are already, I would say, elevated.
Yes,
From
100%.
from some other builders, local area builders. These are already elevated. If you did nothing else, your home would be gorgeous.
Yes.
But we also have the option of the a la carte, where you get to sit down with our designer and customize the home to fit what you want. So we kind of pull all of that together to come up with what we can kind of estimate on the front end of what your build is gonna look like.
Yeah.
So,
And again, it is an estimate, but that
It
way it avoids the sticker shock,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna do a little, I know I'm going off sketch here, but
Okay.
there's a little story time.
Okay.
So we are working with a new client who came to us. They are very familiar with what we do and our reputation here in the community and the builds that we make. But originally he was working with another builder, great builder by all means. But he came to us because after working with this particular builder for over a year, he was priced out. So remember when I was talking about building a home that then you can't afford? That's exactly what happened to this client. A year spent, and there was not transparency, and there was no or lack of communication, and all of a sudden he ended up with a price tag that was way over his budget. And I can't even imagine losing that time and money. He had to spend the money to actually work with the CAD design team.
Right.
So when he came to us and he explained his story, again, we don't shame. We are problem solvers. So what we are doing now with the client is we're gathering the team. We're going to do a lot walk next week, and we're going to take the specifications of the things that he wants, categorize them in the needs and the wants list, and we're going to create a home that's actually within his budget.
Yeah.
So, segueing that to the next question, can you explain the difference between a construction loan and a traditional mortgage?
Take it away.
I will take it away. So, not every loan officer does construction, and many loan officers, if you ask them, steer away from construction for a reason. And it is because construction loans are just multi-layered, and a loan officer really has to understand and be a guide and be a support and really walk the clients through so it's not overwhelming.
Right.
So so first, we do actually have preferred lenders that we work with, and we're not going to go into who those are at this time. It's another webinar, but there is a reason why they're preferred. It is because those specific loan officers that do construction loans are versed, they are experienced, they are excellent with communication, they understand that time is of the essence, and all of those things really fit a really nice package for what we are looking for. Because again, symbiotic relationship, all about streamline, all about communication. There's a lot of things that actually on our side, we communicate with the loan officer. So it's just really important to find the right fit. So a construction loan, and many, not all, but most construction loan programs now are called all-in-one. And an all-in-one construction loan means at the beginning, you get approved, you go through all of the financing portions, and when that construction loan closes, there's a jug of money sitting at the at the bank, and every single month, the builder, such as us, will say, hey, this is the work that we have done. We are requesting a draw. It is absolutely the client's money, so the client most likely has to sign off on it, and then we get a draw payment every single month as the build progresses. At the end of the day, when the home is all done and we have several things in place before the loan is completed, and before you get your keys, then the construction loan after 9 months, let's just say, rolls into, there isn't another loan, it just rolls into whatever the final mortgage is. Most of the time, it's a 30-year fix. There are some programs out there that might be like a 10 or a 15-year ARM, but most of the time, classically, it's a 30-year fixed interest rate.
And are they making payments while
Yes.
the house is under
Yes,
construction?
so, the more, I'm just gonna throw out a number. Let's say your construction loan is $750,000. Because we trickle draw, right, as we're doing the build, maybe your first payment, which will be interest only during the construction period, will be only on what is being actually drawn on. So maybe the first one will be 50,000. So your payment will be interest on 50,000. And the next draw will be
Yeah.
maybe another 50,000, so then
That makes
your interest payment will be on 100,000 until we get to the 750. So really at the very beginning, your interest payments will be small and then they grow as the bill progresses. So at the very end, when you're at your 750,000, you paid your last interest payment on 750 and it rolls into a final mortgage. That will be when your first mortgage payment will be your principal and your interest, because now you're slowly paying it off.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a good explanation.
Thank you. Okay, am I gonna take the next
You
one
are,
too?
you
Okay,
are.
all right. So the next one is, how do we balance our wish list with our budget?
I wanted
So,
you to take this one because I think you have.
Oh,
you have
sorry,
a good-
fine.
Yeah, you have a good example.
I absolutely do.
Really?
So, again, I love the word transparency, because really when clients come to us, it's not that you don't have, you have, most of you have a vision, for sure. But sometimes vision and budget don't align. And again, we are not dream crushers. What we are is problem solvers. So when a client comes to us and we have a preliminary meeting, let's say you come in for your first meeting after we talked on the phone, and we do that preliminary budget worksheet. And we talk about, what are your family needs? Maybe you have someone with a disability and need to work on certain aspects to be able to make a home that works for those types of purposes. Maybe you have a home that maybe your previous home had some things, that elements in your home that you really, really love, and you would like to redo that with your new home. Or maybe you're in, let's go back to the ARC, the design committee. Maybe the design committee says you cannot park your RV in the front yard. It actually has to be an enclosed space. And this is my story. So we had clients that absolutely had a budget. And our meeting, when we had a discussion about what their needs were, in my mind, before we even did the worksheet, they were already over their budget. And again, it is giggly, but at the same time, we want to make, we understand that you need to have a 3-bedroom and an office, because maybe you work from home, but you have a 36-foot RV that cannot park in your front yard. So you need to have not a 36-foot, but more like a 42-foot RV bay that is attached to the house. And then some ARC requirements are, the garage can't be the main focal point of your house. It has to be maybe turned, or maybe the house needs to sit forward and the garage needs to sit back. All those things are things that are important to talk about through the design phase. So these clients had a budget. And like I said, adding a 4th bay for the RV took them over their budget. They also had a lot of wants. I'm going to throw out a couple of them. When you have a certain type of exterior and interior window color, that's an expense. If you have heated floors, that's an expense. And we kind of went through all of their wants, and we listed them as really at the top all the way down to the bottom. And really through the conversation that was both respectful and professional, and again, problem solving, the clients had to make some compromises. In the end, what was really great is our design team is also very experienced to be able to say, if you want to do this upgrade, do it now. Yes, it's an expense, but it will be more expensive to do it later. But maybe some of the other things that the clients want, that's something that can be done at a later date at not so much of an expense to redo it as it is just the expense of the item itself, whatever that is. Yeah, so wants versus needs, we always try to satisfy the needs first, always, because that's a need, right, for your family's lifestyle. The wants, we will definitely go through, and maybe there's a couple of options. One more example is we had a client who really had a beautiful outdoor living space, and they lived in the valley, and they were moving here, and they loved the accordion style doors that opened up. And huge expense, to be really honest. And not only that, but in Central Oregon, we're dusty. We're dusty folks out here, and those types of accordion styles can cause some problems. So our CAD design team sat with our clients and gave some options and found a better option that was still beautiful, very functional, and saved them a lot of money. So
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question we get a lot is, how can I make sure my project stays on budget? Again, such a good question. And what we do, so at Select, we do a fixed price contract instead of a cost plus. So what that means is when you are sitting down with our CAD and our design team, and you're coming up with all the specifications of your house, that all gets put together, and then that goes to our purchasing team in-house, and they're working their magic. We always joke that they have the hardest job on our team. Trying to figure out what is this actually.
they're haggling for you.
They really are. They're going to bat for our clients. And they come up with all the costs, and then we put that all together and come up with a fixed price contract for you. So by the time we sit down and actually sign a contract, we have, this is how much it's going to cost to build your home. Now, there is a little bit of variation in that, and that is our lumber and foundation allowance. And that is in our contract. And what we do is we come up with a price of what we think each of those are.
With a buffer.
And then there's a buffer.
Yes.
There's like a 5% buffer. So
Yeah.
say our foundation budget is X amount, and it goes over by 7%. Well, that buffer allows for 5%, so we're gonna take that extra 2% and we are gonna charge that. But on the flip side of that, if it comes under by say 7%, then we're gonna credit you that extra 2%.
Yeah.
So there's kind of
fairness,
yeah, so we definitely want it to be fair, but that's how we come up with our contract.
And the reason why we have done that is because those are the two that are just the trickiest. Lumber can literally change overnight. Same thing with foundation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we end up having to do a couple of extra steps once we actually get into the foundation.
Right.
But I will tell you, going back to, again, fixed price versus what's called a cost plus. So back in, during COVID, again, this was when my lending days, there were so many distraught clients because, I don't know if you guys are aware, but literally overnight lumber went up 40%, metal material skyrocketed. And these builders, I mean, again, it was just kind of a sad situation for everybody involved. But builders that quoted a price all of a sudden had to quote an exuberantly larger amount. And if somebody has a construction loan and that is their budget, there is no extra money anywhere. I mean, there might be a contingency plan, but it did not necessarily cover overnight increases of $70,000 or more. I'll tell you, in those couple of years, I've never been to more litigations in my life between builders firing borrowers and borrowers firing builders. So what happened was there was a valuable lesson for many smaller builders. They just went to a cost plus where they said to the client, yeah, it might cost you $750,000, but in the end, it may cost you $1 million. And that can be a real problem if you've got a construction loan, right? Or you have a budget that says, I don't have enough money to be able to do $1 million bill. So really important to know that fixed price contracts are actually really the benefit of you.
They really are helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Last one.
Last one, we've got what's included in your pricing and what's not. I actually just had a conversation this morning with the client. We broke it down. We talked about what's in our contract versus what's outside of the contract. So the best way that I explain it to most clients is when you look at, like if you look at our signature plans, we have base prices. And those base prices are from foundation on up, because that is what we can control. We know how much it's going to cost us, respectively, to build you that house from foundation. What's the unknown in the equation is your specific lots, right? So site prepping could mean that excavation, because it's sloped and there needs to be some grading, that could cost more. If you have to drill a well, if you have to do septic, if you have to trench from a power pole across the street, right? That could be an expense. So those things are not going to be included in the contract. Now, we do have build options. It's actually called a standard plus, where your team here will manage the whole project, right? Because we know the trades, we know the partners. What you call us back. So we are able to manage everything for you. But when the bill comes, for example, for your civil engineering or for your permits or for your excavation, that will be a separate bill. Again, we manage it, but when the bill comes, we send it to you and then you pay that bill directly to them. Okay. Yeah, without the trade program. So that's the difference. So again, what's included in your pricing? It would be the base price. It would be whatever modification we end up doing. Any of the all the upgrades and customization would be in your contract. Your standard, as far as your, like your tier level, how custom do we actually create your home? And the standard plus, which is the management fee that we actually charge. So all those things are within our scope. All the rest of it are estimates until we actually start getting the bids from those partners. Yeah, which again, civil engineering would be one, excavation would be another one, permitting would be another one, structural engineering. Another one. Hence why when we have those meetings, why we do those preliminary budgets, because we don't want to just say, sure, it's going to cost 600,000 and then find out that it's going to end up costing more. Again, not dream crushers, we're not dream builders.
There you go. Okay, let's go on to the construction process. Okay. Kind of what the questions are that we get from that.
Okay, and I'll take that first one too. Okay, so first question is, how long does the building process usually take and what can cause delays? So when we're actually in the building phase, I'm going to give an example where, just a couple of days ago, it was below zero, below freezing, I should say, here in Central Oregon. It should be warming up again, but something that I learned when I came to Select is you want to really timing is everything. You want to time prepping your lot for foundation. You don't want to prep the lot and then wait have it sit, because weather has a lot to do with getting your foundation poured. And if you actually get everything ready to pour foundation and then you let it sit, let's say the ground freezes, or let's say it then expands, you'd be surprised how much expansion and contraction of ground will actually do. So with the exception of severe cold weather, we build all year round. In colder weather, which, my goodness, down in the Pine area, they're already expecting their first significant snow sometime this week. And we build all over Central Oregon. So it's not that it will stop us. We just plan accordingly. There's a lot of communication. Our site supervisors and our construction manager and our CAD team and our service team, we all talk, we prepare. Of course, we get the clients involved as well and just make a plan of action. Yeah. So really, how long does it, is again, back to the how long does the building process usually take? Well, we talked about 9 months. On average, right? If there is a delay, it's usually a short one. And then once framing is done, there can be 9 feet of snow out there. Hopefully not, but that's not going to stop the process. It's really at the very beginning.
Keep going.
That's right. Yes. Now, we've had a couple where last year we had a couple of builds that were scheduled for February. And interestingly, in Central Oregon in February, we have some of the deepest freezes in February. So again, it might delay a couple of weeks, but we're ready. So as soon as Mother Nature thaws us out a little bit, yep, we're ready to hit the ground running, no pun intended.
So the other question we get a lot is, how often can we visit the job site during construction, right? And we get it, you're excited, right? We're excited for you. So visiting the job site is absolutely, yes, we can do that. We do have an addendum in our contract about this specifically because it is an active job site.
Yeah.
Right? It is an active
Safety, yeah.
construction zone. So safety is the number one thing. So just recognizing that, and being cautious of that, right? Because especially like during the framing process and stairs and all the things.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, 100%, you can visit the job site. It would be preferable if you didn't stick a lawn chair out in your driveway and sit there all day, every day. The site supervisor might not appreciate that very well, but we do love it when you can visit
We
the
do,
job site.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Communication, it's just really great. In fact, oftentimes the site supervisor will meet you there or walk you through, be able to answer any questions. We would love to do it with you.
Yeah.
I think it's just best to just let us know ahead of time. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, we absolutely invite our clients to come out.
That's great, because you talked about communication, so that's.
Yes,
that's amazing.
communication is key, 100%.
Okay.
Okay, so what kind of communication or updates do you provide throughout the build? I'll tell you, going back to lending, one of the reasons why at the time I was a preferred lender to select was because of the fact that there was weekly communication.
Mhm.
At no time do we ever want our clients to ask us the question of, where's what's happening? Where's our build at? I haven't heard it from anybody for a couple of weeks. What's going on? We don't want that. We want to be able to send on a regular basis. Here I've got weekly email updates, and it really is weekly. So I'm gonna walk you through this. Let's say you're in the upfront phase, right? And so you're talking with Kariann and I, so sales and service. We will be providing you weekly update or just regular updates. And then once you go into your first reservation, where you get through the next doors and get to work one-on-one with CAD and design, you will be getting from either CAD or design, or sometimes both, you will get a weekly update from both of them. And then when you get through the construction, the contract, it might actually come back to us because we are working, if you have a lender, we're working with the lender to get them an appraisal package together. So you will be up so that you know that the lender and the builder are talking also.
Mhm.
And then once you actually get to the construction phase, you will be introduced to your site supervisor, who you will get to know very, very well. And they will then send you weekly updates with what has been done this week, what's coming up next. Here are some pictures. Look at this amazing tiled primary shower that we just did for you. They're just as exciting for us as they are for you, because oftentimes we don't get to go to all the sites on a weekly basis. And a lot of our clients don't live here, right? They may be in a different state. And this is the only way that they really know and understand what's going on their build. And I'll tell you, it's very exciting. We get to see some of the comments back from the employer or from the clients that actually email the site supervisor back and CC everybody. Oh my gosh, you can just hear it in their voice, like, oh my gosh, we have a living room, or oh my gosh, there's a house. So anyway,
And like you were talking about the clients who were retiring this year and.
yeah, and then traveling.
So now
Yes.
they're doing this huge road trip for a month.
Oh my gosh.
And so we get to send them pictures, and it's so cute because then they send us pictures back.
They do,
Oh,
they
we're there.
yes. We really do get to know you really, really well. And at the end, we call most of our clients our friends. And you're right, like one of them was like, we're in a restaurant in New York, and it's 10 o'clock. And this is so we're hovering over a table, looking at our email.
It's so fun.
Pretty great. Yeah, okay, so that's what I got for that one.
Yeah, the last question there is, who will be our main point of contact during construction? So basically, like Lincoln said, once the construction actually starts, you are assigned a site supervisor. We have 4 site supervisors, depending on your location. And you are assigned one, and that will be your main point of contact during that phase. They're the ones you're going to want to reach out to because they know the most about what's happening with your home, and they're there regularly checking in.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we're going to move over to the quality and customization. So what happens if material availability changes during my build? So this was good, and you kind of mentioned this a little bit already, like through COVID, right? When we had all those issues and you couldn't get a garage door,
yeah,
right?
or an appliance, an oven.
Get that in. And so what we try to do, and again, this is all in our contract, but what we try to do is replace like for like, with your approval, of course, as long as you're easy to get a hold of. If you're on some cruise ship and we can get a hold of you, that's your problem.
Yeah.
But we make it work. We figure it out, and we really shoot for trying to find something similar. An example would be we have one right now. It's
Yes.
getting ready to close, and we're so close to getting certificate of occupancy, but in order to do that, all of the appliances have to be
Yep.
in. And right now, the oven that they want it's on back order.
It's on back order.
And so, and you can't get a certificate of occupancy without having
No,
your oven.
well, because it's gas, and so
Yeah.
you have to test out the gas, so it has to be plugged in and tested.
So for them, obviously, we offer to get a different range for them, and it was actually an upgraded range that was the option that we could get in time, and they opted not to do that because they wanted all of their appliances the same and all.
Yeah, same company.
Totally makes sense.
100%.
So what we're having to do is just we're putting in a temporary one, so that we can get them moved into their house, and they don't have to
Right.
wait on just an
Right.
oven,
And
and
then
then
as
when
soon as it
that
comes
comes, we will replace that. With the new one that matches all their other appliances.
Yeah.
And make them happy. So
Yep,
that's what we do for that.
yep. Okay, so the next question is, can I make changes once construction has started? So the simple answer is yes, you can, absolutely, custom builder. The key is to really have deep conversations during the CAD and the design process. Our goal is to make sure that by the time you get your contract, you have worked through all of your design choices, colors, and any upgrades that you want. Now, I'm trying to give like a simple example. Let's say, this is a good one. Let's say over your kitchen island, you initially said, I just want it clean. I don't need pendants that hang down. I want to be able to have an open space. But, maybe your ceilings are 10 feet and you've chosen a lighter color and you visit the site and you see now everything is in and you feel like, my goodness, I really need pendants. It would look beautiful to have something hanging down for balance. Is that a change order? Can it be done? Yes. The sensitive timing to change orders once construction has been done is, do we need to undo something to then redo it to something else? And is there a cost to that? Yes, there is. Is there possibly a delay? Yes, there could be. So really, I think the most important thing is, again, communication is key, right? And keep saying that word. And at the end of the day, things happen sometimes. Oh my goodness. So really, just the conversations are really important. Those weekly updates, really important. You're going to be able to see things. If you're local and you want to do a visit, absolutely, please do. If you have questions, we say reach out to your site supervisor. You can always also reach out to Kariann and I if you have questions, or, my goodness, you at some point are going to be emailing back and forth with every one of our, team. So really, just timing, the best scenario is to get it all done before we start building, but things happen. So just a conversation.
Which actually leads to our next question really well, which is, how do you help clients make design decisions without feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, the more that you can do on that front end and really get your design honed in on that front end, the better you're going to be. Which is why Kelly is such a huge part of this. So she's our designer on our team. And as Lenka said earlier, really, she loves just meeting with the clients, getting to know them, getting to know their style and their personality, and really helping them make that home unique to them. Right. And so she loves inspiration boards.
Oh, yeah.
She's all about that. So she is very open to having people send that and share those. And she actually meets with our clients multiple times, but we'll go with them to the showroom in Redmond and help them with all of their selections. She walks them through the entire process. So there's a lot of hand holding that goes into that. And of course, she is a design expert, so she can help, but she doesn't ever want to overstep. So it really is your decision, and we want the house to reflect you, as since we are custom. We're not having it look like all the other homes. It's unique to you. She just kind of helps guide, give some guardrails.
She does.
That, and really make it so that at the end you have a very beautiful put together home.
Yeah.
It doesn't look, mismatched.
Yeah. And, for those clients that are, that don't live here, you can, yes, we do have a showroom in Redmond, but we can also do it virtually.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, really, I laugh, I say either the sky's the limit or your budget's the limit,
Mhm.
right? There are thousands of upgrades that you can do that we have access to. A lot of our clients will say, hey, I found a light fixture at some company. And should I just buy that? Well, I can guarantee you 9.5 times out of 10,
Right.
we're gonna be able to find it for you and probably at a better price because we get it wholesale.
Yeah.
So, inspiration boards, a lot of our clients say, hey, is it okay if I show pictures? Oh my gosh, yes.
Please do.
Please do. The more pictures, the better. Kelly is such a talented person and her job is to learn your stuff and to be able to stay within your budget.
That's a great job.
She does.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is how do you ensure quality and consistency throughout the build? I have to pause here because as a lender, I work with many, many builders. And really at the end of the day, the reason why I work for Select Design and Build is because time is a testament of quality and value and teamwork, professionalism and excellence and consistency. My goodness, you're going to any of the Select homes that we have built for our clients are beautiful. They have instant equity in them from when you get your keys. They have a timeless quality and elegance that will look beautiful 20 years from now. The resale value is higher than most homes in this area. Just really the consistency also goes to our trade partners that we've had for multitudes of years. Our brother company, Polish Homes, who has been around for decades. He started back in the 1970s. They have built up also just years and years of excellent, loyal trade partnerships. And most of our team came from Polish Homes and have also built up those same relationships. And I'll tell you, it is key to have partners, trade partners, and work staff that understands the integrity that we have, the level of professionalism and the quality finishes that we expect every single time. And that is what ends up having a consistent, beautiful Select home each and every time. It doesn't matter if your home is 600,000 or if it's 2.3 million, you're going to have beautiful finishes every single time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to warranty. So we get the question a lot too. What kind of warranty do you offer? So we do the 210 builder warranty. So basically what that means is for the first year, what is warranted is the workmanship, right? So your paint, your cabinets, your counters, trim, all of those types of things are warranted and we work with our site supervisors in that first year. 2-year warranty is on the systems of your house. So the things that are in the walls, think about it that way. So your electrical and your plumbing and your HVAC system.
Yeah, your thermometer.
Yeah, those kind of things. So those are all that 2-year mark. And then we have the 10-year, which is the structural. So this is your like insurance backed. We're talking foundation, load bearing walls, beams, all of those types of things that the safety of your home, right? So that is for 10 years, which is wonderful. And it is also transferable. So if you unfortunately have to sell your home in that amount of time, it would be transferred to the new homeowners as well. So it's
and
good.
Kariann and I get a lot of questions. We have clients that reach out that may have had a home built 3, 4, 5 years ago. Always feel free. You can always reach out to us and ask questions. Now, example where you don't want to call us first is, let's say you have a gas smell in your house. Don't call your builder, call your gas company, because there might be something that is going to be an emergency situation.
Right.
So in that respect, call the gas company first, then call us. Yes. But in respect, we are always here. Any question, even if you're not sure about whether it's warranted or not, always call. We're always here to help.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, are there any warranty check-ins or inspections after we move in? Awesome question. And yes, again, going back to my experience, we have, in my opinion, and I believe in everybody else's here too, we have one of the best warranties in the business. So not only that, but we have site supervisors that really, really care. You will get to know your site supervisor so well. I'm not joking. There really are so many friendships. And we have clients that call us 3 or 4 years later and they get the same people, which is also really important as well. So our site supervisors who is assigned to you, not only before the house is done, are you going to have an orientation checklist walkthrough. So they're going to show you the house and how everything works, and you have the ability to go through and do what we call blue taping, right? So if there's anything that you see that needs to be fixed. So that's really the first part before you even get into your home. And then check-ins, again, during your first year, like you had mentioned, anytime there's something that comes up, just call us. And we will absolutely get in front of our construction manager, who then gets in touch with the site supervisor, and we are, again, problem solvers.
Yeah.
So warranty customer service, just call us. Really just call us. We will get you within the right person who needs to guide you, even give you information. We've even had clients, no joke, we've had a client who built with us probably about 10 years ago, and they wanted to know if a certain paint color was still available. Just call us.
Yeah.
We'll help you. Yes, we did find the right paint color.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so the next one is, what's the best way to prevent warranty issues from happening in the first place? Super great question. As Lenka said, our site supervisor does a home orientation walkthrough. That's significant. I mean, it's a couple hours long.
Yeah.
So it's not just.
We take it very seriously.
Yeah, it is definitely a whole thing. And with that, you get a whole notebook. In that notebook, it shows all of your standards and specifications and all of your a la carte items. So your paint colors and your siding and your, all the selections that you had in your home are in that notebook to make it easy for you.
Yeah, all in one place.
Of course, you can always call us, but it's right there for you. And along with that, in that notebook is just kind of your basic, here's how to live in your house, right? And here's the things to do every 3 months or every 6 months or every year. So if you can really just be a good homeowner and follow those things, that's actually going to help a lot too. And not overwork your system.
And it's nice that everything is in one place.
Yeah, right. That's the idea behind it. Is we just hope that it makes it easy for you to just grab that and have it easily accessible. So yeah, just a little benefit to you, I guess, to hopefully make your life a little bit easier. That's what we're here for. So guess what? Look at us.
Oh, it's amazing. I don't even know how this happened. It's 12:58.
Oh my goodness.
You got this down.
So those are kind of a lot of the questions.
They really are.
But
they really
as we said, if you have other questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. And we would love to have the opportunity to have you come in and meet with us. We have our email on there and phone number. You can scan that QR code. All of those ways are ways that you can reach out to us, and we'd love to schedule. We can do in person, but we can also do virtual. So if you are out of the area and interested in building in the Portland area or Central Oregon area, then we'd love to connect with you. We also are giving away a $100 gift card to the winner of a drawing. So we have this one, and then we have another webinar at 6 o'clock again. So we will, after that, we'll take all of our attendees and draw for a gift card. And then we'll do a follow-up email with you guys this week, by the end of this week, and let you know if you want.
Yeah. And I'll add to the fact that this is who we are. We are two human beings. We are no pressure. We are all about just giving information. So please don't be bashful. Reach out via email, call us, come in. We are just here to help.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time and your teamwork. That's it. We'd love to be your donor. All right.
We're the right one for you.
That's right. Now we just have to make sure that your lot is the right one for us.
Thank you so much for attending today. We really appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your guys' day.
Good rest of your Wednesday.
Yes, and happy early Thanksgiving wishes.